When I started my business back in 2018, it was always a dream to go to a different country and explore while working online. I think it's a goal for many of us. We want to explore, live life, and that's what an online business allows us to do. However, there are some things that people forget to talk about because it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Look, don't get me wrong, it's amazing and an experience I think everyone should have because memories you create will stay with you forever. In this video though, I'm going to share some things that I struggled with, so in the future, if you decide to pack up and work remotely, you don't make the same mistakes that I did. So first and foremost, you need systems in place. This one is kind of obvious, but I wasn't as ready as I thought. When you go away, there will be times that you're unable to work, and you don't want to put yourself in the position that your business is solely relying on you. When you're solo, everything is on you, from outreach, appointment setting, sales calls, service delivery. And when you travel, I would have a plan and people in place that could take on a commission-only role to help you with the workload in times you aren't available. Even if it's just 10 hours per week, they can handle some outreach and maybe some client communication. This way, your pipeline doesn't dry up. You must make sure that you have SOPs set up before traveling, and this is something I hadn't done. I was naive and thought everything would be okay. Mind you, my 3-week trip turned into 8 months. I wasn't really planning for that. Systems are what keep you alive, and this leads me to my next point, which is you must set a daily routine. Part of the reason you need systems is because it's difficult to set a daily routine. You're in a new country and you're going to want to explore. You're going to go out, you're going to party, have fun, and in the beginning, I really struggled with this. I'd be going out every single night, sleeping in, hardly working. When I was at home though, I didn't go out. I woke up early and I was focused. As hard as it is, you will have time to see everything you want. You must remember you need to work, and if you neglect the business in the beginning, it will only go downhill and be difficult to recover. It's important to set a daily routine that isn't too different from the one you have at home on day one. For me, I did adapt this, but it was too late. Alright, so next is being prepared. My 3-week holiday turned into 8 months and I had so many issues that I couldn't have expected. The first one being payment verification. A lot of the times when I tried to use my debit card and pay for something online, it required an authentication code from my bank which was sent to my phone number. Problem was, I had a Thai SIM, so I was unable to receive that code. This was incredibly frustrating as I tried to call the bank numerous times with no resolution. So I had difficulties paying for the majority of things on my debit card. Banking issues were a recurring theme. 2 months into my trip, my bank actually paused all payments into my account. When I called them about it, they said they had no record of that and it should be working fine. You must be prepared for this because it wasn't something I expected to encounter. I would also suggest using a VPN so you don't run into issues with your social accounts being flagged for suspicious activity since you're overseas. I hear people talk about this, but I didn't understand it until I went through it, and that's loneliness. For me, I haven't been someone with many friends. However, after my best mate left to go back to Australia, I was on my own and I did feel lonely. You're in a foreign country, you don't speak the language with no friends or family. It can be hard to adjust. You really need to be comfortable in your own company, and it did take me 3 or so weeks to get used to not having people around and just being by myself. But after that adjustment period, it's actually great. Self-discipline is very important because not only are you out of your normal routine, but the sheer excitement of being in a new country is overwhelming. Like I said, you're going to want to explore and do everything. I'll admit, my self-discipline went out the window for a good 3 or 4 months. I lost myself. When I was younger, I never partied, I never went out, I never had those experiences. So as soon as I arrived in Thailand, that's what I did, and I continued to do so even when my business was suffering, and this went on and on. I buried my head in the sand and kind of lost who I was. I had no direction, no motivation, no fire in my belly. I had fun for a minute, but I was lonely and just unhappy. As humans, we need purpose and we need something to work towards. I didn't have that and was just kind of an empty shell for a while. It felt very weird. It was a time when I had no idea what to do with myself. I let myself go, and that's why I wanted to do this video. I understand it's not my typical content and probably won't get many views because it's kind of boring, but I think it's important to shed some light on the digital nomad lifestyle. It is a lot harder than you think. Do I want to do more trips? Yes, but I'll make sure that I'm prepared next time. If you are easily distracted, then it's going to be very hard for you. You see all the highlights on social media, and yeah, I've posted some of them too, but it doesn't tell you the full story. Some people can make it work without any issues, but I wasn't one of them. I was in one place for a long time and I went through this. I could only imagine how it would be if you moved every 1 or 2 months to a different country. It sounds sexy, but it's really not. Not to mention the headache of booking new flights, accommodation, and the logistics of it every few weeks. I think it's more of a nightmare than anything enjoyable. I believe it's better to have your business in a position where you aren't on the day-to-day and you're not relied on for it to succeed and you're hands off. Maybe you need to work 2 or 3 hours per day and that's it. Because after that, you'll want to go out and explore. In 2024, I do plan to travel, but I won't make the same mistakes again. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helped you if you're planning a trip, and I'll see you in the next one.